Bitcoins and beer, Bitcoins and beer. Here is Norm. He's a storm as he screams and raises and rants. He is here drinking beer, spilling Bitcoins on his pants. Hello, it's me, Norm, again. Here once again to drink beer and talk about Bitcoin, rant about Bitcoin. And in case you haven't noticed, Bitcoin prices are rising. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this rant. I haven't done a rant in a while. Bitcoin news and prices and everything has been kind of stagnant since my last rant. So I haven't really talked about it because there hasn't been really much to talk about. All I know is weather's getting chilly now. So I got a darker beer. It's actually kind of really chilly. I got the Stone Coffee Milk Stout. So we'll try this out. And for today, I'm going to pour it into a glass. Show you the rich, full color of milk stout. Tell you the truth, coffee stouts I kind of like in the right occasion. Milk stouts I'm not a fan of. So this would be interesting. Not bad. Interesting. Kind of tastes like a cappuccino. Very interesting taste to it. Like I said, kind of like a cappuccino. So, wow. If you've been paying attention to the price of Bitcoins in the past week, you realized it just completely hates 300s. Because every time Bitcoin gets into the 300s, it kind of skips up to the 400s. It's grown like $100 in the last week. I don't know. I've looked at it 3 times in the past few hours, and it seems like it's grown like $10 every. Like right now. Okay. As I'm doing this recording, 443. And okay, sorry for that little interruption there. Earlier, that's like $20. That's the last time I looked at it. So it's doing this crazy rise thing, which is understandable. It's a bubble. I have no idea what's going on. I can't do this. So many people are asking, why is it growing so much? And, there are a number of different variables that could be the factor, but nobody really knows why it grows or why it goes down. Kind of like precious metal prices. Nobody really knows how that works either. Because it doesn't make any sense if you follow the comics, Chicago Metals Exchange. It doesn't make sense. I know it's like been beaten down there for a while, the Metals Exchange anyway. And yesterday I noticed some weird activity, and I guess they're going to start attacks in Chicago, and I'm not qualified to give that kind of rant, but one of the variables involved with Bitcoin is the uncertainty of the price of tea in China. What does this have to do with the price of tea in China? It's not the price of tea in China. It's the price of the yuan. And normally when currencies fail and capital controls take over currencies, people rush to precious metals like gold, silver. But you know what? Those have a problem because you have to get a hold of them. And in order to get a hold of them, especially when you're half a world away like in China, you have to ship them. Bitcoin does not have that shipping problem. Ask the publishing company with the distribution. The publishing company learned this the hard way, where you don't have to store the paper. You don't have the price of paper and ink. You don't have the price of storage of the paper and ink. You don't have the delivery cost. You don't have any of that with Bitcoin. Well, you have a little bit of a delivery cost, but it's very minimal. It's you try to put a nickel in an envelope and mail it to somebody across the country, you'll learn that it costs you a lot more to ship that nickel than it will to actually just hand it to Bitcoin. You can actually do that with. You can actually ship it to them you can ship them a nickel, a dime, probably even a penny. I don't know. I've never tried a penny. But I actually, no, I've tried less than a penny. 100 Satoshis. You can ship them 100 Satoshis. Less than a penny. For a very minimal cost. You can do this across the country, halfway around the world, or next door. It doesn't matter. Shipping cost. So you can swim a lot farther with gold and silver. You can swim a lot farther with Bitcoin, as long as it's in a digital secured area where you can access with a password and a key later on. So think about this. Think about the advantages of a digital currency. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having gold or silver. It's nice to have, but if you're not next door to the person or in touch with the person, it's not as feasible as Bitcoin, where you can ship it, like I said, across the country or halfway around the world for the same price. Less than the price of a stamp, because if you put a dime in an envelope, that stamp is going to be more than that dime. Think about it. Western Union, credit card fees, all sorts of stuff like that. I think the Chinese are going to start thinking about this, and instead of thousands of years tradition of precious metals, which, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. There's thousands of years of tradition with that. When I say tradition, some of you know what I'm talking about. There's also gems and stuff like that, but like rubies, diamonds, sapphire, whatever. You could store it with that, but you're having the same problem. And then when you ship it, you're going to have insurance issues. You're going to want to insure that stuff, aren't you? So Bitcoin is almost at 450 a Bitcoin. 449.9. Pretty much 450. I think that's raised since the beginning of this rant. So, hopefully you understand the value of Bitcoin. I have to go. This rant's gone on too long. Cheers. Satoshi saved, Satoshi earned.